This is not just the biography of a preacher. This is the story of a movement, the story of audacious faith in the heart of Africa, the story of Benson Idahosa. Born in 1938 in Benin City, Nigeria, Benson Andrew Idahosa entered a world that did not seem ready for greatness. He was born frail and sickly. Accounts from his early life suggest that survival itself was uncertain. In an era with limited medical care, a weak child often faced impossible odds. But his mother refused to surrender him to despair. She chose prayer. She chose hope. And that decision would echo across generations. He survived. Growing up in poverty, Benson worked hard from a young age. Life did not hand him privilege. He sold firewood. He struggled for education. He fought limitations. But within him was something that poverty could not suppress: conviction. As a young man, he encountered the Christian faith in a transformative way. This was not mere religious participation. It was surrender. It was fire. It was purpose. When he began preaching, there was something different about him. He did not speak timidly. He spoke with absolute certainty that God was alive and active. He believed the Bible literally. He believed miracles were not historical stories, they were present realities. In 1968, he founded Church of God Mission International in Benin City. It began humbly, but it carried a bold vision: evangelize the world with signs following. At a time when Pentecostalism in Nigeria was still emerging, Idahosa became one of its loudest voices. His crusades grew rapidly. Open fields filled, stadiums overflowed. People traveled from villages and cities to attend. His message was consistent: Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. But it was the miracles that drew national attention. Now, let us step fully into one of the most dramatic miracle accounts associated with his ministry, told in detail as it has been circulated for decades within his movement. It was an evening crusade in Benin City. The sun had just dipped below the horizon, leaving behind a dim orange glow. Floodlights illuminated the massive field. Thousands stood packed together, men, women, children, expectant. Archbishop Idahosa had been preaching with unusual intensity about the authority of Jesus over death itself. His voice rang across the speakers, declaring that Christ conquered the grave. Then, something unexpected happened. A disturbance began at the back of the crowd. A family was pushing forward urgently, carrying a small child wrapped tightly in cloth. Their faces were strained with grief. Those nearby could sense something was wrong. Whispers spread: "The child is dead." The family had reportedly lost the child earlier. In desperation, perhaps fueled by stories of miracles, they brought the lifeless body to the crusade ground. The crowd parted slowly as they approached the platform. The child was laid down in front of the altar area. Suddenly, the celebratory atmosphere turned heavy. Thousands watched. Silence spread like a wave. Even the wind seemed to pause. Archbishop Idahosa stepped closer. He asked what had happened. Through tears, the parents explained that the child had stopped breathing and had been declared dead. They said they believed that if the man of God prayed, something could happen. This was not a private prayer room. This was public. If nothing happened, it would happen before thousands. He knelt beside the child. Witnesses recount that he began praying quietly at first, then more firmly. He declared scriptures. He spoke directly, commanding life to return in the name of Jesus Christ. His voice rose in authority. Minutes passed. The crowd was frozen in suspense. Some people began praying loudly. Others wept. Some doubted. Some believed fiercely. He continued praying, rebuking death, declaring resurrection power. Then, according to testimonies told by those present, a movement occurred. A faint response. Someone near the platform shouted, "The child moved!" The archbishop continued praying. Then the child reportedly began to show clearer signs of life, breathing, crying. The silence shattered. The crowd erupted in overwhelming sound. People screamed, some fell to their knees, others ran forward in shock. The atmosphere transformed instantly into explosive celebration. The child was lifted, alive. The parents wept uncontrollably. Archbishop Idahosa stood and declared that Jesus Christ is Lord over life and death. That single moment became one of the defining testimonies of his ministry. The story spread beyond Benin City, across Nigeria, across Africa, and eventually internationally. But that was not the only miracle testimony associated with his crusades. There were accounts of blind individuals claiming restored sight after prayer, deaf individuals responding to sound, people who had been unable to walk rising from wheelchairs during services, families testifying of recovery from severe illness. Whether one interprets these accounts spiritually, medically, or historically, there is no doubt that thousands believed they witnessed extraordinary events. Beyond miracles, there was leadership. Idahosa believed Africa should not wait for foreign missionaries to define its spiritual destiny. He championed indigenous leadership. He trained pastors. He mentored future leaders of Nigeria's Pentecostal wave. He also embraced media. He used television broadcasting when it was still rare for churches in Nigeria. He understood influence. He confronted political authority during Nigeria's military regimes. At times, he spoke boldly to national leaders about righteousness and justice. His courage distinguished him. Education was central to his vision. That vision later gave rise to Benson Idahosa University in Benin City, a tangible legacy that continues today. Internationally, he connected with global evangelists and preached in Europe, America, and across Africa. He helped position Nigerian Pentecostalism on the global Christian stage. Yet his life was not without critics. Rapid growth and miracle claims often invite scrutiny, but regardless of debate, his impact was undeniable. He often repeated, "I have never seen God fail." For him, faith was not abstract, it was confrontational. It challenged impossibility. In March 1998, at just 59 years old, Archbishop Benson Idahosa passed away unexpectedly. The news stunned Nigeria. Crowds gathered in mourning, leaders paid tribute, churches wept. His funeral drew massive attendance, a testament to his national and spiritual influence. But the movement did not die. Church of God Mission International continued expanding globally. His wife, Archbishop Margaret Idahosa, carried forward leadership. His pastors he mentored spread across continents. Today, Nigeria stands as one of the largest centers of Pentecostal Christianity in the world. While many leaders contributed to this growth, historians consistently acknowledge Benson Idahosa as one of its foundational pioneers. From a sickly child not expected to survive, to a preacher who filled stadiums, to a leader associated with dramatic public miracle testimonies, to a mentor of generations, his life became a defining chapter in African Christian history. And whether remembered for his bold preaching, his fearless confrontation of power, or the unforgettable crusade night when a grieving family left with a living child, the story of Archbishop Benson Idahosa remains cinematic. A story of risk, a story of faith, a story of audacity, a story that began with survival and became a movement that still burns today.